like you're trying to get to heaven in a hurry, and the queue was shorter than you thought it'd be, and the doorman says you need to get a
Okay,
wristband.
so they want us to find g prime of negative 1 half, right? So negative 1 half, yeah, where g of x is inverse of f of x, which they give to be x to the third over x squared plus 1. Okay? So we're going to basically just kind of apply the same rule that we've been using in the last problem. So we have, let's see, we could do, let's see, we should figure out this first of all, so that we can plug it into the f prime later. So g of negative 1 half means when does f of x equal negative 1 half? Okay. All right, so x to the third over x squared plus 1 equals negative 1 half when, and we'll like cross multiply here, so we have negative 2x to the third equals, and I put the negative over there, so x squared plus 1, right? And this is true, or we could even, yeah, I guess that's fine. But anyways, when you solve for it, then we get that this is true at x equals negative 1, right? Okay, that is a 1. So we would get negative 1 to the third would be a negative 1 here, and then that makes it a positive 2 on this side. So this is a plus 2, and then this would also be a plus 2. Okay, so we can see that that's true. All right, so this is our what g of negative 1 half is equal to, negative 1, right? Okay, so this equation holds true. And now we need our f prime of x. So that's going to equal, all right, this is going to be kind of long because we have to do quotient rule, but bottom low d high less high d low, that's the way I learned it, d low over low squared below. Okay, so then in order for our formula to work, we will have equals 1 over, and then we're going to have this like that, right? And we know, we found out earlier that g, this part, g of negative 1 half equals a negative 1. Okay, so what we really have on the bottom is f prime of negative 1. Okay, so let's figure that out right now. F prime of negative 1, it's going to look long, but it's actually going to simplify pretty nicely. So negative 1 squared plus 1, right, when we plug in the negative 1, and then 3 times negative 1 squared again, and then we have negative 1 to the third, like that, and then 2 times negative 1, okay, a lot of parentheses here. And then on the bottom we have a negative 1, again squared, plus a 1, and then to the power of 2. So all of this simplifies to, let's see, we have here, I believe it is 1. So let's see, we have 1 squared plus 1, 2 times 3, which is 6. So that's 6 minus, and we're actually going to have, yeah, it's still a minus because the minuses cancel, so that's 1, and then minus a 2 over 2 squared, which is 4, and that's 4 over 4, which is 1. Okay, so this is our f prime of negative 1, and that goes on the bottom, right? So I'll go to a new slide. Just keep all this in mind, I guess. So our final answer, g prime of negative 1 over 2 equals 1 over f prime of negative 1, which we just found, 1 over 1 equals 1. Okay? So that's our answer for that question. Good.
Or as if that's what they're about to do. It might not hurt now, but it's gonna hurt soon.